Hey viewers, hey subscribers, welcome back to my channel, Allthingsaquarian. Good morning and happy Saturday, you guys. If you are here, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm up this morning because I wanted to go live. It's been a little while since I've gone live, you guys, because I have been sick. I've been sick, and just last week I got my voice back. So good morning. Good morning, it's your baby. Welcome to my channel, you guys. If you're new, if you're not new, welcome back, babe. So this morning I'm into doing readings, okay? And so how this works is donations are a priority. If you want a quick reading, a free reading, real quick, because I'm gonna keep it simple and straight to the point, okay? That's just the type of tarot reader that I am. I keep it straight to the point. I don't sugarcoat shit, okay? So if you're looking for somebody to tell you what you want to hear, I'm not the person, okay? But if you want a free reading, drop a pink heart in the chat section so I can see it. My moderator will probably drop in here. Aisha, shout out to Aisha. She's such a good moderator. She's always here. It's okay, love. As long as we can see you, we can see you. We know you're here, okay? Also, to the people who are new and who are just coming into the live stream, please be respectful of people during their readings. Like, don't jump into, start having a conversation in the middle of their reading, because it throws me off and it throws them off. They're trying to listen for the message, okay? That's one. I only have two rules. Be respectful. Be respectful and wait. Just be patient. Be respectful. Be patient. That is it. That is all. All right? Anybody coming here talking that shit is getting blocked. Okay? Like, don't come in here talking about I'm going to hell whoop de whoop, because baby, did I ever care? Did I ever care? Okay. Talking about you don't listen to tarot. Tarot's not real. Okay, then keep scrolling. There's so many thousands of channels on YouTube you could be on. Why are you on mine? Right? So anywho, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I had to go through the pleasantries, because people be acting a fool sometimes. They get beside themselves and they have to be reminded, I'm not the one or the two. I will block you and I probably will cuss you out. So don't try me. Okay. Hey, Miss Thang. I'm just waiting for folks to hop in. Tell me where are you tuning in from? Where are you watching from? What part of the earth are you watching from? I say part of the earth because I have people in here from other countries sometimes. I have people in here from out of state. I'm in Missouri, aka Misery. I'm in the state of Missouri. So fun fact about me, I was born in Missouri. I was born in St. Louis. Well, welcome from Canada. Shout out to Canada. Love Canada. Love it real bad. But I spent a lot of my life in Texas, so I consider myself low-key a Texas girly, like a southern girl. I really do. But I was born and raised as a child in Missouri. When I came back to my roots about 10 years ago, I came back here back in 2016. I sure did. And I've been at it ever since. But you guys, I was raised in a very religious household. So the funny thing is, tarot would definitely be condemned. But I'm grown. I'm very grown now. So I make my own decisions and I decide what I choose to believe and what I don't. And that works out for me. And that's one of the things I've learned in my process of deconstructing from religion, is that, just because you were raised with certain teachings doesn't mean that you have to still uphold those things and gravitate towards those things if you don't believe in it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. There's a lot of things in religion in general that don't make sense to me. Like, you have to have this this strict structure. People are trying to walk this tightrope to please this being that they've never even made contact with. And the thing for me that gets me is because different cultures practice different things, right? So like, for example, in India, they are, what is it? What is the word? There's many gods and goddesses, right? I think it's poly something, but I can't My brain is not, y'all know what I'm saying, okay? So let's say in India, they have all these hundreds of gods, right? Then over here, you have Christianity, you have Islam in the United States, right? You have Judaism, you have Hebrew Israelites, folks calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. They worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You have all these different genres of religion, right? And it's like, how do you know who you're talking to? How do you know who's who? Right? Because everybody thinks their God is the God. And my thing is, isn't the creator the same individual all the way around? I can't say person because he or she is not a physical being. And how do we know that the creator is a male being? Who told us that? Where do we get that from? Why do we automatically assume that the creator is a male being? Why? The thing for me is like critical thinking skills. Like, I question everything. Like, make it make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, I really need to understand the logic behind this rhetoric, behind this mindset, and this narrative that's constantly being pushed that you have to follow rules to get into a place, so-called, aka the kingdom of heaven, which nobody has ever came back to report what it's been like up there. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the valid proof? So, anywho, y'all, let me get into shuffling my cards. And this is why I do my best to mind the business that pays me, because some things will never make sense, and it's fine. It doesn't have to. I don't subscribe to it. All right. I feel like I just don't feel like you should have to follow all these hundreds of rules to be a decent human being. You know what I mean? Like, common sense would tell you, oh, I shouldn't steal from It's Your Baby. You know what I mean? I shouldn't steal from Miss Thang 101. I shouldn't lie to this person. Like, it's a moral thing. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is, in society, what makes us feel like we have to have a religion to tell us how to be a decent, good human being to other people? You know what I mean? Or you shouldn't commit adultery with your neighbor's wife, right? Or you shouldn't be out here unaliving people. You know, thou shalt not fill in the blanks. For those of y'all who know what I'm talking about and who grew up religious, why do you need a book to tell you that? Wouldn't that be common knowledge? That's just like when you were younger and your mom was sending you to school and she's like, go in there, have a good day, be kind to your other classmates, don't go in there and give that teacher problems, behave, do what's expected of you, and come home. That is it. That is all. You didn't need 1,000 rules. Listen to your teacher. Go in there and listen to the teachers. Listen to the adults. Follow the instructions, right? You're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old going to school. She's telling you this. It don't have to be complicated. I feel like human beings complicate things that really were never meant to be complicated. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like we complicate things. Same thing with relationships, because, as a tarot reader, I always get people asking me about love. Love. The common questions that I get. Let me tell y'all the common questions that I get. Yes, exactly what you said. The commandments are like, if you don't live your life a certain way, and I've even heard people say this, because well, she did it the right way. What do you mean the right way? What do you mean the right way? Because you have people who do things the right way and still get killed. You still have people who are good Christians and good people and still lose their children, still lose their house, still struggling financially. They go to church every Sunday for the past 20, 30, 40 years of their life. They've been tied into this church. They call the church up and say, hey, can we get a little help over here? We need a little assistance. We struggling right now. The church, oh, we ain't got it. You got to call somebody else. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, damned if you do and damned if you don't. But who are you? Who is this person over here behind this pulpit to tell me how I should be living my life? And the crazy part about it, I'm going to say the thing that nobody wants to say. The crazy thing about it is the preachers are also sinners. The preachers are also sinners because check it out. Check it out. According to their theory and according to their messages, if God created everyone with the ability to think, compare, consider, right? And he created everyone with the desire to sin, who's the preacher? Who is the preacher? Is he not flesh and blood? Is he not a human being? Does he not have the desire to sin? Okay. I've just critical thinking skills here. 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 is 2. If God made me and God made you, guess what? We came from the same cloth, baby. We come from the same cloth. So what makes me better than you? I'm not. Not at all. What? Did I miss something? And then people run around here putting too much stock in these individuals and then end up being burned in the end, being lied to and deceived in the end. People put so much stock and so much weight. Well, Pastor so-and-so, I've been going to his church for the past 5, 6, 7 years. I didn't know he was out here committing fraud. He's human. He's human. And every time I get on the internet, I see a pastor embarrassing himself and his congregation, doing craziness. When I say craziness, I don't know if y'all seen the video of the one that went viral where the lady was bringing a $1,200 check. I said $1,200 in this economy. And the preacher told her that's not what he told her to do. He told her to give more than that. He told her to bring more than that. Sir, if you don't get all the way out of my face, telling me what I should have brought, what I should have, could have, would have brought, in this economy, in this day and age, my money, y'all can keep it. Y'all can have the church. I don't want it. No, thank you. All right, y'all. If y'all just hopping into the live stream, yes, I'm yapping, running my mouth as per usual. I'm an Aquarius. It is what it is. But I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people who are caught up in religion, they miss the critical thinking. They miss that's what's missing. No one questions anything. No one asks the questions. Okay, so why is this? Why do y'all practice this? Why do y'all pray like this? What makes you think this man is the only person that's ordained by God to minister and tell people what they should be doing here on earth? What makes him above everyone else? And why is it what qualifications? Why is it that he can talk to God but I can't? He's connected to God. But then they'll tell you to go and pray to God. So which one is it? Is he the only one that's connected, or are we all not connected? Because then they'll tell you, well, you need to pray about it. Okay, pray to the same God that he praying to. Why he out here stealing money, committing adultery, messing around with kids who are underage. Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I sure did. I'm glad thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up. People are literally going through crisis right now. And they're calling these churches because they've been tithing to these churches and giving to these churches for years. For years. And they call the church, oh, we don't got it. And I guess, and guess what? That same lady said the strippers were commenting and saying, y'all should have called us. The strippers and the doughboys. They was like, y'all should have called us. One lady, she said, I know a man right now. He'll give you, there was a man that gave a few $100, doughboy, for somebody to get some formula for a baby and some grocery money. Several $100. Immediately took it right out his cash. Took it out his pocket and said, here you go. But you called a church and the church can't help? That's crazy business. That's crazy business. But there were also people in the comments saying the loyalty from the churches has never been to the people. It's never been about the people. It's never been about the people. If you know anything about taxes and accounting, Churches get to file as tax exempt. Churches get to file as tax exempt. And once they file tax exempt, all of the donations and things that come in, they don't have to, they're not taxing on it. The gifts that people bring to the church, the free will offerings that people bring to the church, they're not it's not taxable because they're tax exempt. They file it, I think it's under a 501c. They file, that's how churches file. It's a 501c. They get a lot of tax breaks and a lot of tax cuts within the community because they're a church. But a church is a business. In order for you to open a church, you have to have a name for that church. It's kind of like a sole proprietorship or a DBA, right? Like if I was to do a business and I don't know, I had Jackie's Lashes, right? I would have to file my business with the state, right? They have to do the same thing. A church is a business. And what are they in the business of doing? What are churches in the business of doing? What is their business? Also, the preachers who have gone to seminary school, they are told what to teach. They're told what to preach in their churches. They are told, I know this because my uncle went to seminary school. He passed. He has had a church for the past, I want to say 15 years. My uncle was a preacher for about, he was preaching for about 10 years. Then he stopped for a while and then he went back into it. But he explained that in seminary school, they specifically tell you what to say, what not to say during lectures for pastors. They tell you what information to preach to people and what not to preach to people. And basically, I understand the concept. Like, I understand the concept of going somewhere that's going to give you hope, because this life, earth is the closest thing to hell. So if you can go somewhere where you're going to feel inspired and motivated and encouraged, like you can do all things through the Father that strengthens you, right? If you live a righteous life, you will have eternal life. People like to hear these things, right? So I understand the concept of going somewhere. They also teach a structure. Every Sunday morning, we have services from 9 until 11 or whatever. You get your children ready. You get ready. You're going to go hear the word of the Lord, blah, blah, blah. I understand the structure behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the intentions were well, but it went south. The intentions were well, but it went south. But when you really stop and think about it, what are they in the business of doing? Because if you're not in the business of helping the poor, which is what they teach, Jesus fed the poor. Jesus went out and he healed the sick. He raised the dead. He healed the lepers. He fed the 5,000. The story of him feeding the 5,000 with 2 loaves of bread and the fish. Where is that at? I'm just saying though. I'm just saying. Where is that at? But these folks is out here dedicating their whole lives. Okay? Dedicating their whole lives. And ain't getting shit in return. Do you hear me? Nothing. But lies and promises. You know what that sound like to me? A ninja. That's what it sounds like to me. A ninja, you done met off the street talking about some, yeah, baby, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of the kids. I'm going to da-da-da-da-da. He ain't finna do shit. Ain't finna do nothing. Ain't finna give you no money. Ain't finna put you in the house. Ain't finna do nothing. He just tell you what he thinks you want to hear so that he has access to you. He always has access to you. He gets you so caught up and so in your emotions. It's manipulation. It's psychology. The psychology of it is if we get you to believe that, just run their mouth. It's the psychology. Men do the same shit. That it's the psychology of it. If I can get you to believe that if you leave the house of God, that you are not going to have eternal life, you're going to burn in hell, right? You're going to burn in hell, and God is going to frown upon you, and you will be cursed. If I can get you to believe that up here, baby, you're hooked in. We locked in. You're not going nowhere. It's like an abusive, toxic relationship. I'm claiming that I love you, but I'm lying to you. And heaven forbid you start thinking freely for yourself and start questioning things. And then what? You start questioning, but why do I need to come here every Sunday? Why can't I study my Bible from home? What do I need to come here for? What makes you the only person who's anointed? How did you become ordained? How did you become anointed by God? Aren't we all God's children? And why is it that y'all are saying, picking and choosing what parts of the Bible y'all want to follow? Because the holidays are condemned in the Bible, but y'all are celebrating them. Y'all pick and choose what y'all want to preach, right? So it's, you need to tithe and you need to pay your 10% to the church, but then you're still letting your members run around out here celebrating pagan holidays, which is condemned in the Bible. It's condemned in the Bible, but y'all fully decorated and ready to go, right? So which one is it? Pick a struggle. Are y'all out here teaching to give, right? To give and love your neighbor as yourself, right? But when I, your neighbor, your very own member of the church, call you and say, hey, my baby needs formula, y'all are not running to my aid. Y'all telling me to call everybody else and go somewhere else. What sense does that make? And then if I don't do the things that you want me to do, you want to ostracize me and embarrass me in public. Oh, well, that wasn't enough money. That wasn't enough money. I didn't tell you to bring it. I told you to bring 2,000. You're blessed that you got 1,200. The way I would have snatched my check and walked right out of that facility on live. Mind you, it was a live stream that he embarrassed his woman in front of everybody. It was a live stream when he said this to her. And her son was right there with her. The way I would have took my son, I would have said, give me my check back. Give me the check back. Took my check and walked out of that church so quickly, in a hurry, and left. And he would have never seen me again. Because how dare you? The audacity. And then her stupid self, she got back on the internet to try to justify his behavior. No, the pastor wasn't scolding me. Yes, he was. Yet we all saw it in real time on the live stream. There was no editing. It wasn't cut. He was scolding you because you didn't bring enough money. And then you want to sit here and make an excuse for it. We had previously talked about everybody bringing their amounts, certain amounts. And no, it wasn't that. We had previously discussed everybody was in a line. He made some excuse. It was some stupid excuse that he made. And I'm like, it doesn't justify the behavior. Y'all are embarrassed because we saw what really happens behind closed doors. That's all it was. And it was caught on a live stream. These folks are embarrassing. These people are embarrassing. Last year, it was a 50-year-old preacher who was marrying a 19-year-old. And the mother was okay with that. Mind you, he had been grooming this girl since she was about 17. They had been going to his church for a while. But she's his wife now. Mind you, he's in his 50s. What is she supposed to do with a 50-year-old man? She's 19. And everybody's running around okay with this because they're married in the eyes of the Lord. And you know, he all on the internet. Oh, nobody better not say nothing to my wife. Y'all better not say nothing negative to my wife. She's a child. She's a child. Because why didn't you marry one of those 45-year-old women that's in your congregation? Somebody your age. Why did you choose a 19-year-old? Y'all not lying. If y'all don't believe me, y'all can look it up. Listen, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And he wasn't the first one. This has happened several times. And so, like, if you watch the news and stuff, like everything that's going on with the government shutdown and everything, and they keep talking about Trump and the Epstein files and all of this type stuff, these types of behaviors, underage marriage and child abuse, and I don't know if I can say the N word, but y'all know what I'm saying. Child abuse, I'm gonna say that, with minors, illicit relationships with minors, with children. Let's just call a spade a spade. And when I'm talking about children, I'm talking about 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They're children. And you know, the United States is so weird to me. The laws and the system, if you look at it, is backwards. Because when you're growing up, your mind, your brain is not fully developed until you're about 25, right? Right? If you look it up, if you Google it, you research it, women mature faster than men mentally. But even men are not fully, their brains are not fully developed until about 27, 26, 27, maybe. And girls are like 24, 25, okay? So with that being said, what are you doing? What are you doing with a 17-year-old? What are you doing? This has been going on for a very long time. And no, everybody wants to run around here. All the Karens want to run around here. Everything's not about race, but it is. Because when you look at it, you can trace it back to slavery. Hear me out, okay? Follow me. So during slavery, right, you had plantation owners who had adult female slaves and they had children female slaves. The things that the children female slaves endured by those slave owners were some of the same things that the adults were going through, the adult women, okay? Just follow me. Let me know if you're following me, okay? So let's say I'm a plantation owner, right? And let's say I have 100 slaves on my plantation. Slaves were costing, and I just watched a movie the other night. The plantation owner, he said that he paid $600 for a slave, for a female slave, and they paid more for females than they did for males. Follow me, okay? In order to save money, come on now, follow me. This is his property. She's his property, and the men are his property. So in order to save money, instead of him buying more slaves, what do you think he did? What do you think he did to the young female slaves once they had a cycle and they were coming into womanhood? What do you think they did? Let's not be naive here, okay? To save money, right? And this is where you also have the term breeding farms, because sometimes they would have slaves, you know, that were for that purpose, breeding, because they didn't want to drop. Do you know how much the value of money from pre-Civil War, like 1700s, the value of money today is different. $50 back in 1700 was like having $5,000. A $50 bill, right? Let's take a $50 bill. So imagine he's saying, I can't afford to pay $50 for a slave. I can't afford to pay that. So in his mind, what is he going to do to the young girls? See what I'm saying? And this behavior has carried on. It's carried on. And then they passed laws to where, okay, well, now we're going to put an age on it. We're going to say 18 is a legal age of consent, is a legal age of being able to marry a child. 18, we're going to put an age on it. Mind you, pay attention, follow me. In the news here lately, right? And you'll see it on TikTok, social media, Instagram. You see a lot of these young kids being unalived. You see them going missing. They're still children. They're 17, 18, 19. They're in college. Why are they away from home? Why are they away from their parents? Why can't their parents supervise them and make sure they're safe? 17, you're not grown. 18, you're not grown. But the government gives you this freedom to, mind you, they say you're grown, but you can't buy alcohol until you're 21. Make it make sense. It's not making sense. So you mean to tell me I can move out of my parents' home legally by the time I'm 18 years old, but 21, I can't buy alcohol until I'm 21. Why is that? Why is that? I can be pregnant and have a child at 18, but I can't go buy alcohol. The laws have loopholes in them. They have loopholes and they don't make sense. At 16, you can go and get a driver's license, but you're still considered a minor. For what? You're still considered a minor at 16. They're still children. I don't care what anybody says. They're still children. A lot of 16, 17-year-olds are highly immature. That's high school age. What are they doing? They normalize. They think it's cute when they have kids, you know, in grade school and they're coming up, oh, he has a little girlfriend. Oh, he has a little boyfriend. It's not cute and it's not funny. It's not funny for a 5-year-old to be talking about he got a girlfriend in kindergarten. It's not funny. Why do they normalize this behavior? It's not okay. It starts very early. It starts very early. So by the time they're 13, 14, they're talking about, oh, she's going to her boyfriend's house. She's 13. Boyfriend who? He's still staying at home with his mama. What he finna do? Who he finna take care of? He's playing on a video game and don't even take a bath regularly. My mind goes like this all the time because I'm always thinking about things that don't make sense, things that are unsafe because it doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, the parents are just okay with whatever with their kids. Just because your child is 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, they're not grown. Just because you want to treat them like an adult, they are not an adult. They are still a child and they need to remain a child. Stop putting children in adult situations. Now the 15-year-old is pregnant because they've been coming over to each other's house, seeing each other. Well, what did you think was going to happen? 1 + 1 is 2. You put a boy and a girl together long enough, what do you think is going to happen? And y'all foster this type of behavior. The parents who don't have any supervision. And then you're looking stupid when your child ends up with a child because you allow them to play house. You allow them to be in adult situations. Dressing a 5-year-old like she's a 35-year-old. I've literally seen it with my own eyes. Why is a 5-year-old in a tube top and a mini skirt? Please explain it to me. She's got a bracelet on and you can see her little underwear under the skirt. People don't have, the parenting skills are very low. They're very low. And then you put her in a position where she's around men. Grown men. She's 5. We have registered sex offenders all throughout this country. We have people who harm children all the time. Being a parent is probably one of the most serious positions that you can have in life, ever in life. My mom used to tell us growing up all the time, she thinks that people should have a license to have children. And at this point in my life, I agree. Because a lot of people are not responsible. They are not responsible when it comes to their kids. And I've been watching on Teacher Talk, on TikTok, the teachers are fed up with the nonsense as well from the parents. The teachers will bring something to the parents' attention, and the first thing the parents want to do, because they're not accountable for themselves and their own adult lives, is make an excuse for their child. That's the first thing they want to do, is make an excuse for their child's behavior. Well, you know, we've been going through a lot at home, blah, blah, blah. That's why he hasn't been doing his homework or whatever. Or he's fighting in school. Me and his dad are going through a divorce. Blah, blah. You need to be present for your child, ma'am. Whatever you got going on at home, you need to take the time with your child to explain what is going on, and you need to be present. Because when he comes here to school, Now he's acting a fool, and now we all got to deal with it. The teachers, the principals, and the other classmates have to deal with all of the nonsense because you don't deal with it at home. You don't address it. You don't nip it in the bud before it gets home. Why is he behind on homework, but he's out here playing sports? There's a problem. There's a problem. He needs to get his grades up. He should not be allowed to be playing sports, but his grades are low. See what I'm saying? She should not be allowed to be going out, hanging out with her friends after hours, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. She needs to be at home. I don't care that she's 15. She needs to be at home. There needs to be a curfew. You need to know where she's at, who she's with, where you have school in the morning, ma'am. You need to be at home, not out ripping and running the streets. And damn sure not with somebody of the opposite sex. I don't know that little boy. Who's his mama? Where he from? Where he live at? I need to know. I don't care. I need to know what's going on. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people, oh, that's just her boyfriend. They've been talking since 10th grade or whatever. They've been talking since 7th grade. That's her little boyfriend. Okay, you think that's cute? You think it's cute? Until she to come home and tell you that she's pregnant. Now it's not funny. Now it's not funny. It was cute. It was cute when they were in the 6th grade. Now they're in the 10th grade, and now she's pregnant. And now she's not going to be able to finish school with the rest of her classmates because now she's having a child. Now she's going to have to find a job and a babysitter. It's see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Don't get me started today. A lot of people have piss poor parenting, and it shows. A lot of adults don't take accountability in their own lives, and it trickles over to their children. They make excuses for the way their children are, and they don't hold them accountable for behaviors. There are no consequences for wrong behavior, for misconduct. And if there are any consequences, the child don't take them seriously because they don't follow through with nothing. They don't follow through with anything. There's never any consequences. It's just, I don't feel like arguing with her, so I just let her do whatever she want to do. Or I send him to his dad, or I do this, or I do that. I don't want to argue with him, and I don't want to fight. So, okay, so now you're now you're giving in to the child. Who's the adult here? Who is the adult here? Because if you're not making good grades, you're not going to the football game. You're not going to play the basketball game, and I'm not taking you. I'm not paying for your car. I'm not doing that because you're not proving to me that you're responsible. The whole point of getting a 16-year-old a car is to give them a sense of responsibility. Okay, let's start there. Okay? Give them a phone. You need to prove that you're responsible with the phone. Prove to me that you've earned my trust. But if I can't trust you and you doing shady things, no ma'am. No sir. I'm going to snatch that shit back real quick. There has to be boundaries. There has to be consequences. And your children have to know that you don't play. Just like with everybody else, your children have to know that you do not play. And boys are harder because boys will try you. Boys will try you. Every single time, boys will try you. Okay, y'all. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching, y'all. Feel free to thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Anybody that's wanting a reading, drop a heart in the comment section. One thing about me y'all need to know is that I am a talker. Yes, I am a yapper. Been that way my whole life. But I'm very you know what I mean? My personality is, so if I'm around people that I feel comfortable with, if I'm in a comfortable situation. Now at work, you would think I was a complete introvert because I really just don't I deal with people on a need-to-be basis on a professional level. But when I'm in my comfort zone, yeah, you're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to hear it. And the crazy part is I'm a receptionist at my job, so I answer the phone. So I'm talking to people all day. I'm greeting people as they come into the door, into the facility, dealing with paperwork, processing mail, all this type of stuff. And people will be like, "You're always so pleasant." And I'm just like, Do you want me to be miserable? Like, there's plenty enough things to complain about. I'd rather not. I'd rather not. But if you're wanting a reading, drop a heart in the comments. Drop a heart. But I thought I would hop on here this good Saturday morning and pull some cards, y'all. Pull some cards. Mind you, my phone is downstairs charging. You know what I miss? You know what I really miss, y'all? I really miss the days where we didn't have cell phones. I know y'all get mad at me, but I really do. I really miss the days where we didn't have cell phones, because nowadays it's like folks feel like they have access to you all the time, and that's annoying. That's very annoying. Like, they always want to send you messages and DM you and call you and text you, and it's like, get off my line. Get off my line. I miss the days where I'm probably telling on myself my age, but when I was growing up, my mom had she had one of them cordless phones, and it had the answer machine on there. So when we got off of school and my mom got home from work, like, she would call people back if she felt like it. Yeah. My mama would listen to the voicemail and she'd be like, delete that. Okay. Call your auntie back. Call your grandma back. But delete that other stuff. Delete it. You know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that it gave you the choice. Like, having a phone inside the house with an answer machine, it gave you the choice as to whether you want to be bothered or not. Because people act like, and don't get me wrong, cell phones are a blessing in their own sense, for emergency purposes. But people ain't using cell phones for emergencies. People be on their damn phone all day doing nothing. Even at work, just doing nothing, just scrolling. Yep. Delete that school voicemail quick, with a quickness, baby. Delete it. But people, and sometimes my little friend, because I had my little best friend when I was like in the 3rd grade, we would go ride bikes together, which I don't really even see kids do anymore. Girl, when I tell you, during the summer, we had the best time. My best friend, Nikita, I will never forget Nikita, because she was into an adopted family. And I wish to this day I could find her. When we moved from Missouri when I was like 10 years old. But up until that time, we were in grade school together. Like, we would walk to school together every day. Summer, winter, spring, fall, it didn't matter. So me and Nikita, we was like this growing up. And I would go to her house. She lived a block over from me. So I could literally walk through my backyard and walk to her house after school. And we would be living it up, child. We would be riding bikes all over the town. The town where I live is very small. Like, to this day, I can tell you the layout because I grew up here. So I know the streets, I know the back roads, I know all of it. But the town is so small, and we never, not once did my mom worry about us. We would be riding bikes all the way past my school, and the school was only like maybe a block or two from where I lived at the time. And we would have a blast. We weren't on phones. We were outside. We would play dodgeball. We would play hopscotch. We would be playing double dutch with the jump ropes. We would play tag. Like, we were outside even up until I was like 9, 10 years old. We were outside. We were playing. Now, I don't know what the teenagers was doing, which I would sometimes go and spend the summer with my cousin, who lived 30 minutes away from me in Illinois. She was older than me. So she was in middle school, and going into her high school or junior high. Yeah, middle school, junior high. She was going into like 7th, 8th, 9th grade. And I would go spend time with my cousin. And she would listen to Brandy, when Brandy first came out. And I would go shopping with her. And because I was like 8, 9. But I had so much fun because all of her siblings were older. So she was like the baby of the family. So my aunt and uncle, she was just spoiled, for lack of better words. But the nostalgia of my childhood, I miss some of those things. Like every day when I got off of school, I would come home and, well, before my auntie had my cousin, the boy of the family, I would come home every single day after I got off of school about 3:30, and I would come home and make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I would watch Goosebumps and watch Nickelodeon or watch all that if you know you know, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Goosebumps. That was it. That was my thing. That was my thing for like an hour of my time until my mom got home from work. And then I would do my schoolwork or my homework, and then she would let us go outside with me and my sisters, and we would play for a little bit, and then we'd come back in, take our baths, eat or whatever, and then go to bed so we could be up early, because my mom had to be up early in the morning. My mom worked 2 jobs, and we had to be at daycare at like 5 in the morning because my mom worked very early morning. So we were up at 4 getting ready to go to daycare, and then we would catch the bus from daycare to get to school. But it's so different now. Like things are so different now. Like kids cannot, and I was able to walk as I got older. I could walk to school. So as I got older, I could walk to school. But and my school was only like up the road, like a block away. It wasn't that long at all. Maybe 5 or 10 minutes from the house, not that far at all. But the teachers would come out to the end of the gate where the school, like there's a long fence around the school. The teachers would meet us there in the morning to take us in to the classrooms. And the teachers would also, because you had the kids that would catch like the car riders, they call them the car riders, the parents who were coming to pick their kids up at the end of the day at 3 o'clock. When school was over, they would have the car riders come and their parents, drive up to the school and each come pick up their kids. And then she had a group of walkers. Us walkers were right there close to the school. Yeah. Yeah. It's just funny how times have changed, how things are so different now because it's so unsafe. And it got to a point where the teachers had to come out there and make sure that they saw us going to our parents or going to an adult that was a relative, because that was just when I think this was because my sister was a baby. So this was like 95, I think it was 95, 96 maybe. Because my sister was born in 95. Yeah. So this was like maybe 94, 95-ish. But this is just when the kidnappings and stuff started to pick up. And kids were getting kidnapped, getting into cars that they did not know. Like, oh, you can, I'll take you home. My mama always told us, do not take anything from anybody that you do not know. If it is not your TT, it's not me, it's not your grandmother, it's not your father. Do not accept anything from anybody, period. Don't care who it is. And so the teachers would get mad because they would offer me stuff and I'd be like, no, thank you. No, thank you. My mom, I was raised with manners, okay? No, thank you. No, thank you. But so many kids were kidnapped because the parents didn't teach them any better. They thought, oh, well, this person is going to take me and drop me off at home. You don't know who this person is. Stranger danger. Same thing I have to tell grown adult women talking about, he said he was going to come pick me up. You just met this man on Bumble yesterday. What are you doing getting in his car? You don't know him. Stranger danger. And they even taught us that in school as well. Stranger danger. If you don't know the person, you don't feel safe, do not go with that person. Do not accept candy from that person. Same thing with trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating was a big production when growing up because they would have it at the school. Like the trick-or-treating for Halloween, they would have it at the school. The parents would bring their kids up to the school so that it was a safe environment for the kids to go dress up in their Halloween costumes and get candy. They would also have it at the churches. I think they call them the trunk-or-treats that they have at the churches, where the kids all go in a group and they go and they get the candy, right? To prevent those types of situations from happening, because it was a problem. And the crazy part about it is people who are sex offenders and child abusers, they take full advantage of holidays like Halloween, because who's going to see them if they're dressed up in a mask? Taking someone's child. Yes. No, who's going to suspect them? They see an adult holding a 4-year-old's hand who's dressed up like a tiger, and this adult is dressed up like Jason. They're going to be like, oh, that's probably his son. See what I'm saying? They're not going to suspect it. The baby is just 4 or 5. So the baby is like, he's like, oh, come here, come here, come here. I'll get you some candy. Come with me. That's why parents have to watch their kids. You have to watch your kids. And it doesn't stop when your kids hit a certain age. It does not stop when your kids are 11, 12, 13 years old. I remember in the apartment complex where we lived, once we moved out of state, we were in Texas at this time. So this is fast forwarding to when I was like 15 years old. There were these 2 young girls, fast. Baby, when I say fast, I mean fast. One of the girls had got mono. She told me she got it because she was kissing a boy. Okay? And when I told my mama the way my mama, she came unglued. She was like, I don't want you talking to that girl no more. I better not see her over here. Do not, she better not come by here asking for nothing. Nothing. Do you hear me? My mom ran a tight program. Now, to each their own. People be like, oh my gosh, your mom was so strict. And she was. And she was. But I'm grateful for it now as an adult because it protected me from a lot of things that I would have regretted later. Now, them 2 girls that I'm telling you about, their mother, because they lived upstairs from us. We lived in an apartment when we lived down in Fort Worth, Texas. Their mother, she was always out. She was in and out of the house. She never kept, I think the older girl was like, she was like 14 and her sister was like 12. They were only like 2 years apart. The younger sister was a sweetheart. She basically just copied whatever her older sister did. And I being 15 and my younger sister was like a little bit younger than her sister. My younger sister is like 10. We're 4 years apart. 10 or 11. So me and my younger sister are 4 years apart. My baby sister, she was just little, so she wasn't involved in that. But my mom was very strict about it. Right. I kid you guys not. My mom did not allow me to wear heels until I was 16. She did not let me wear heels until I was 16. She did let me experiment a little bit. I was getting my nails done when I was like 12. She would take me with her to the nail salon. And that was back in the day when you could get a full set for $20. Do you hear me? I mean, French tips, $20. These bad boys now are about $55, $60. Do you hear me? So when I was like 12, 13, my mom would take me to the nail salon with her. You know, because when you become of age as a teenage girl, you want to start dressing more girly. You want to do more girly things. You are seeing the environment around you. So that was fine. My mom didn't have a problem with that. She even let me start wearing eyeliner. That was fine. That was a little step, my graduation into makeup. Then she let me start with lip gloss and lipstick. It was a gradual progression. So by the time I was 16, I could wear makeup. I could wear lipstick and things of that nature. By the time I was 15, 16 years old, it wasn't a problem. But when I was 13, it was a no. It was a no. And she made that very clear. Now, because I was raised in an extremely religious setting, if we wore a dress that was see-through, we wore a slip under the dress. You're not finna see nobody's panty lines. You're not finna see it. No, ma'am. But it's like modesty is thrown out the window now because it's like, well, everybody could just wear whatever they want. Mind you, there's still people out here who commit crimes and offenses. It's not about you being able to do whatever you want to do as an adult, but you have to use common sense. Why would you put yourself in a position to be targeted? You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can wear whatever you want to in the comfort of your own home. But if you're going out in public, you better be aware that there are people who are sick-minded. They're sick-minded. And it's not even just for adults. Hell, they're sick-minded towards children. So if they're sick-minded towards a child, what makes you think that they won't target you? It's just, now everything is a free-for-all. You can pretty much, people do whatever they want to do. Just like now, this whole discourse about wearing bonnets in public is stupid to me. I would never be seen wearing a bonnet in public because bonnets are just like scarves when I was growing up. Whenever you get your hair done, when I was growing up, my mom would braid our hair or do our hair. She would wrap it up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like spray the oil sheen on your braids and then wrap it up in a scarf and you go to bed to protect your braids, right? So they still look fresh the next day. But now folks is wearing bonnets and shit outside like this is a fashion statement. Why? If I'm going out in public, I'm going to be fully dressed. I'm going to have my hair out, my jewelry on, my makeup on. I'm going out fully dressed. I'm not coming out in house shoes, pajamas, and a bonnet. Never. Never, 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 never. It just wasn't a thing. Now, people can do whatever they want to do. They're grown. But you won't see me doing it. You won't see me doing it. When did that change? Like, at what point did it come okay for you to just come outside looking a hot ass mess and everybody act like it's okay? Well, she should be able to wear her bonnet outside. You don't know what people got going on. What do you have going on where you finna run to the Piggly Wiggly in a bonnet? Why can't you get yourself dressed for the day if you're going to the grocery store? Make that make sense to me. And if you're not in a position, call your husband. Babe, can you pick up a gallon of milk on the way home? Because I'm not finna go run to the store in a bonnet. I'm not finna do it. Or call your sister and say, hey, if you coming by this way, do you mind picking up a thing of eggs and dropping it off? I've never gone to the grocery store in pajamas and house shoes. It'll never be a thing in my life. I wasn't raised that way. And I know everybody wants to come and defend. Everybody always wants to have an excuse for things. Well, half of her hair was done. I don't care if a quarter of her hair was done. I don't care if a teaspoon of my hair is done. You will not see me going into public in a bonnet. A scarf is a different situation because you can dress a scarf up, you can dress a scarf down. But a bonnet, absolutely not. You won't see it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But it's just crazy to me how things have changed and nobody takes accountability anymore because everything is considered, you might get canceled if you say the wrong thing or you call somebody out on stupid behavior. You're the bad guy. You're the bad person because you said something that was true and it was right and they didn't like it. Why are we going into public like this? Why are we wearing pajamas in the public? Why are we wearing lashes that don't look natural? There's nothing wrong with wearing lashes. Love lashes real bad. I wear them. But I'm not going to wear lashes that are out here. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, why can't you make it blend in with your natural lashes? Why can't it look somewhat natural? Why does it have to be? Why? Just why? Why does it have to be extra stuff? Why? Why is this stuff normalized? And people not keep watching their kids, not keeping an eye on their kids. They don't know where the kids are at. Oh, we thought she went over to a party. As I watch the stories and I hear the stories of abductions and things that happen, bad situations, a lot of them could be prevented. A lot of them could be prevented if people made smarter decisions and were more aware and more watchful of their surroundings. A lot of things could be prevented. So yes, I grew up in a very conservative type of household. I very much did. So I still have some conservative principles. Just like people thought it was funny. I had did a TikTok and I was like, what is on and off? Because I never heard of that before. I did not know what on and off meant. But somebody explained to me that on and off is like when you've been in a relationship with somebody, y'all are together, but then y'all are not together. And then y'all get back together. And that's called on and off. And because in my mind, the way I was raised, either y'all are together, you're in a relationship, you're engaged or married. That's it. Anything outside of that, we're not together. We're not a couple. I'm single. Leave me alone. Get off my line and get out of my face. On and off will never be a thing for me. Because if I'm with you, I'm with you. If we're together as a couple, as a team, we work together as a couple, as a team. If we are not, then you're single, I'm single, then leave me alone. Get out of my face. But I've heard stories. I was so perplexed because I heard a story about a woman talking about she had 6 kids. And 2 of the kids she had when her and her husband were off. They were off. And so he was upset by the time they got back on that she was pregnant. But there was nothing he could do about that because they were off. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? It's weird. It's a lot of weird things that make no sense to me. And valuing your time with family, that was important. Growing up, family reunions were important. I still to this day, I don't know half of my cousins. I know of them, like I know when I see them, I know who they are, but I don't remember the names. It's too many folks. It's too many folks. But babe, one thing about it, my mom was gonna take us to the family reunion so that we could meet these folks. We could see these folks. They could know who we are and go on about our business. I don't really see family reunions anymore. People don't really get together like that anymore. And I don't know if it's just like it's a change culturally because people are waking up, because a lot of those functions are rooted in toxicity, because you have that drunk uncle who always shows up to the function and he want to touch and feel on everybody. Inappropriate. And then you have that one auntie that wants to make herself look better than everybody else and talk about all of her accomplishments and all of these different things. That could be part of the problem. Or you have the people who want to control everybody and tell everybody what they should and shouldn't be doing and run a tight ship. And you always have them people who show up late. Like it's a whole situation. So when I got older, going to family reunions was like, I'm going to be here for about 30 minutes and I'm gone. Okay. I'm going to be here for about 30 minutes, chat it up with everybody, hugs, grab me a plate of barbecue, and I'm out. I will see y'all. That's about the extent. But growing up, it was a big deal. Like going to the family reunions and seeing the grandparents, the cousins, the aunts, the uncles. It was a big old thing. I don't really see that anymore. People, from what I've seen, it may still be big in a lot of places, especially down south, because the culture is different. But I don't really see it too much anymore. I don't really see a lot of people going to family reunions or even planning family reunions. It's like people are so distant now. Like people don't really get together like that anymore. Because everything is social media. People are always posting on social media, and I hate it. Like I hate Facebook with a passion, because I feel like Facebook is for nosy people. Facebook is for nosy people who are too lazy to actually call somebody or show up in person. So they keep track of you and what you have going on by watching your Facebook page. And so if you post something, now they feel obligated to reply when they could have just called you up. Oh, I didn't know y'all were planning to go to so-and-so for your birthday. You could have called me. My number's never changed. For what? Or people are just posting things in their personal life on Facebook for what? Who cares? Like, no, and outside of your immediate family, no one's concerned with your child just started daycare. Like, no one's concerned with it. Like, that's a personal thing. If you're happy about it, share it with your internal, like your immediate people. Why does it have to be shared on social media? For what? Same thing with Instagram. A lot of it is like, I want attention real bad. I want attention. I want somebody to acknowledge me. I want them to see what's going on in my life, or I want to see what's going on in somebody else's life. And I just don't like it. Social media is like that important in my life. Because I feel like the people that matter, they'll know when I have a life-changing event or I have something that's going to change my life in a positive way. They're going to know. The people who are literally involved in my life and actually involved and show up, they're going to actually call me or text me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care for it. I don't care for it. All right, y'all. I've been waiting for folks to drop a question. If you have a question, drop a heart if you want a quick reading. Drop a heart if you want a quick reading. Now that y'all got a little bit of the tea on my life. Right, because it's just, social media is so annoying. Like, it's always somebody posting something. Oh, I got my hair done. Yay. What do you want us to say? You're 35 years old. You're almost 40 years old. 45 years old. You got your hair done. Okay, great. That's cute. That's cute. What, like, and it's people, like, it's strangers who don't even know you, who don't even care. Like, here lately, I've just pretty much given up because I've been busy with life. I hardly even post on my Facebook. I hardly even post. Like, if I go out somewhere, I might post it because I like having a good time. Like, if I travel. But here lately, I don't even bother with it. I It's annoying. And then you have the people who post stuff. They post stuff. Facebook is messy. They post stuff to get an argument inside it. Like they want to argue with people, and I don't got the time. One thing I'm not going to do is argue back and forth with an internet troll. Somebody who's a keyboard warrior. Like I don't have time to go back and forth with you on the internet. I don't even know you in real life. And people be so bold. They be having the audacity online to say stupid things that they wouldn't say to your face in person. They're big and bad online, but if it was in person, they wouldn't pull up. They would not pull up. All the nerve and all the audacity online is crazy. And for me, for a long time, when I heard of online bullying, I couldn't understand it because I'm like, how are you going to bully me online? All I have to do is shut this shit off. Log out. I don't have to see none of your comments. I don't have to see nothing. If I log out, I don't see nothing. You know that saying, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil? Nothing. If I log out and I turn this off, I don't see nothing. That's insane. So she talked about being single for 2 years and then posted that she was doing the 5 census gift for her man. See, that's what I'm talking about. A post like that to me is attention seeking. Whose attention are you trying to get? Who do you want to see this? Your man? Is the man wanting to be acknowledged? Same thing with that. Like, I hardly ever, I don't think I've ever posted a picture of me and my fiance together on my Facebook. I don't think I have. I don't think I have. And we've been together 2 years now. I've never posted a picture of that man with us together. Now, I got a picture of him on our last trip to see the family with his newest grandbaby, but us together, no. Like, I hardly ever even mention that man. Because it's not nobody's business. The people that need to know will know. I don't understand that. Like, and I noticed that too. Some women who are male-centered, they're always posting stuff about a man. They're always posting about relationships. They're always posting their man. The problem with that is, does that man even agree to that? Like, does he want everybody to see him and know who he is and what y'all doing and all of this? That's the thing that I really hate about social media. Nothing is really kept private and personal anymore. People are just so loose with personal information or personal experiences that are supposed to be an intimate experience. I always said if I was ever pregnant, I would not post it on social media. I would not. I would not post it on social media. For what? My family would know. My family would know. You know, the people who were in my life and involved, they would know if I was expecting. They would know when the baby was coming. And that's that. It would be a very intimate situation. Same thing that's going to happen with my wedding. People who are actively involved in my life now, I don't care who it is, friends or family, they will know. They will be the ones to know when I actually have my wedding. I will not be announcing it on social media. That's it. And if my fiance chooses to share it with his family members, he can. That's his business. I am not in the business of telling my personal business to just any and everybody. It's not cute. It's not a thing. It's not cute. Yeah, and that too. There's that trend. Everybody wants to get onto social media, and men do it too. Men can be even messier than women. I found out that a lot of men are even messier than women in a lot of situations where they get on social media and they want to rant and rave about child support and taking care of their kids. Sir, you're too grown for this. Shut up and take care of your kids. Just shut up and take care of your kids. No one cares that you have to pay child support. You shouldn't have been having kids if you didn't want to pay child support. And if you didn't learn after the first or second child, that's on you, sir. You should have learned. Same thing with women. You want to bash your baby daddy, but yet you're asking this man to pay child support. What do you want? You should have took him to the courts. You should have took him to the courts. And if you knew he was, you do all this bashing, but you laid up and had a baby with him. Yeah. You laid up and had a baby with somebody that you didn't even know for what, 6 months to a year? You didn't even know this person for 6 months to a year. And you decided to make a lifelong commitment. And this is the hill that I will die on. People are ignorant. Because you'll have women out here, I want to have his baby, but they're not even married to this person. And marriage has never been a topic. They've been with this guy for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. And you want to have a child. Which one is a longer commitment? Which one is a more deeper, serious commitment? The child or the paper with your last name on it? Make that make sense to me. I want to have his child, but I don't want to be his wife. Make it make sense. And the thing is, if you're his wife and you have his child, that comes with certain legal obligations that he's going to have to make sure that you and that child are taken care of. Versus just being a baby mama. And I'm just saying what I'm saying because it's factual. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Girls will go out of their way to try to keep a man by having his child, but refuse to go to the courthouse to pay a little $50 fee and get a marriage license. Now you have a lifelong commitment with this man. And if for some reason, because, things change after you have kids, it does. Everybody knows this. Once you have a child with somebody, it changes the dynamics of your relationship. So when shit hits the fan and y'all have had a baby and that man says, hell, I don't want this responsibility. This is too much. And he dips. Now you're stuck taking care of a kid, maybe 2, maybe 3. And now you got to hunt him down for child support. But you want to get on the internet and bash this man that you decided to lay down with. You didn't take the time to really get to know this man or the content of his character, his family line, where he comes from, what kind of people he was raised by, and you decided to have a child. And sometimes not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4, 5, or 6 kids with somebody that has shown you repeatedly they're an irresponsible piece of you know what. So, bashing him on the internet is doing what? Instead of taking him to the courts. That's crazy business to me. And just getting on the internet in general and talking all this mess and sharing all of your drama that you got going on is incredible. It makes you look crazy. It makes you sound insane. Because why are y'all not handling this in private? His attorney can talk to your attorney. Y'all can work it out in the courtroom. Why are we coming to Facebook? Why are we taking this to Instagram and sending screenshots and sending proof and DMs and all this stuff? Like, for what? For what? And now you want sympathy. You want people to side with you because you made stupid choices. If I had a baby with a man one time, and it did not work out, he would never see me again. He would never see me again. Matter of fact, the only time he would see me, I won't say never, the only time he would see me would be in court, baby. You can see me in court or in hell, one of the two. Because now you have a child that you're going to take care of. And I'm going to see to it that you're going to help take care of this child. But it won't happen again. It will not happen again. People don't normalize learning their lesson the first time. A lot of people don't normalize learning their lesson the first time. If the first time he was an ass, he didn't help you, he was unappreciative, he wasn't emotionally available, he was moving like he was single, why would you risk bringing life into the world for an individual like that? A lot of them are not even wrapped tied up here. People be dating people and being sexually intimate with people that they don't even know what's up here, what's going on up here. That's why we have shows like Snapped and For the Love of My Man and Evil Lives Here. Because people be messing around with people who are not mentally well. Some of these men are on the spectrum. Some of them are on the spectrum. Some of them have mental health issues severely. They have unresolved trauma that they need to work through. And you messing around and having a kid with them. For what? For what? And now you want everybody else to be in your business? And you want everybody else to know how horrible of a baby daddy he is? We don't care. We do not care. Keep that private. As a matter of fact, I would be too embarrassed. I would be too embarrassed to bring that to the internet. And if he wanted to be messy, I would let him be messy on his own, because he would look like a stupid fool posting that shit on Facebook or Instagram. Wherever he was posting it at, he would look like a stupid idiot. Because why are you talking about the person who gave birth to your child? She could have aborted it. She could have. But you want to be on the internet and be messy. But that's the thing too. A lot of times, a lot of men will talk mess too about their baby mamas. And it's like, that woman didn't have to carry your child. She could have got rid of it. She could have. She could have very well got rid of it. But you want to talk mess about the woman who's taking care of your child, that you should also be partially responsible for taking care of, because she didn't make it by herself. Or you're complaining that you have to pay child support, but you haven't been there for all of the other events in that child's life. Nothing. Birthdays, holidays, the child gets sick, having to go to doctor's appointments, the child's in an accident, the child has a learning disability. Nothing. You're not there for nothing else. And all you're required to do is send that woman a little money to help out with rearing the child. And you want to complain about it. It'll never make sense to me. It'll never make sense to me. And I'm one of the girlies that I personally, this is just my preference, I would not want to have a child by somebody who is financially irresponsible and who I'm not married to. Two things. Financially irresponsible, who can't hold. Mm-mm. And the third thing, has too much trauma. They have too much trauma. They've already had children before. They've already had children before. So they'll make your experience hell because they've already had children before. So they don't really see it as an exciting experience. That part. How are you? Listen, I was just having this conversation with my fiance not too long ago about rappers, you know, because he all into the whole whatever rappers he likes or whatever. And I'm like, here's my thing. They're out here buying these expensive cars, and a lot of the cars are not bought, they're leased. Let's be real. Rappers be out here pretending in these videos that they have all these thousands of dollars, and they really don't. They really don't. A lot of them really don't. These chains are leased. These big iced out chains they be wearing and all this nonsense. Now, the thing is, for me, you have 4 or 5 kids by 2 or 3 different women. You get shot up at a club because you got into a fight with another man. Who's paying for that funeral? And who's going to take care of your 2-year-old, your 5-month-old, your 7-year-old, your 9-year-old, and your 12-year-old when you die? You left nothing behind for these people. Not even your mother, who would be your next of kin, because you didn't marry any of the baby mamas. None of them are legally attached to you. They're baby mamas. So how is that set up? Because, you know, living that lifestyle, the street lifestyle, it's risky. It's very risky. So if you get shot up, right? Who's taking care of that? Who's taking care of the kids? Who's taking care of your mother? And who's taking care of your funeral expenses? Who's doing that? Who's doing that? There's never any thought about tomorrow. There's no preservation for tomorrow. It's just, I'm living in the moment. Man, I want this car right now. I want to buy this. I want to blow money on this. I want to buy these chains and all this stupid stuff. Not, let's put this money in a high yield savings account so it can accrue interest and the money can build over time. Or let's pay off some of these debts so I can increase my credit, right? My net worth. Let's reinvest the money into stocks or things that's actually going to be profitable. But let's waste the money on nonsense. And then my kids are left with nothing. My mom is left with nothing. And everybody's left with misery and sorrow because I lived my life in the streets and I talked about it. And I manifested my own death because I'm out here causing fights with people. I'm out here causing fights and I rap about it in my music and I talk about how I'm the head honcho, I'm the this, I'm the that in the streets. They, you know what I'm saying? They look to me, Now you're dead. You don't have a legacy. Your kids don't have anything left behind. Your mother doesn't have anything for funeral arrangements. Who's handling all of this? And you're only 25. It's nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. And like you said, you can spend thousands on a dog, but not take care of your kids. They'll spend thousands on shoes, jeans, all kinds of craziness, and not take care of the kids. How do you look fresher than your kids? How are you more well put together than your children? Make that make sense. You're wearing Louis Vuitton, and you're wearing Tommy Hilfiger, and you're wearing Calvin Klein, and you're wearing all of these name brand designer clothes, and your children are running around in dirty diapers with clothes that are 2 sizes too small. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. Literally makes zero sense. And people just, and it continues. This cycle of nonsense continues on and on and on until somebody decides to break that cycle. Somebody decides to have some common sense and say, if I ever get some money, I'm going to reinvest it. I'm going to put money aside in a savings. I'm going to make sure that I take care of my kids and make sure that they're well cared for. Well cared for. Well cared for. My mother, who took care of me, blood, sweat, and tears, make sure that she's good. And there are rappers who do that. Like I know Boozy, he makes sure his mama is good. He makes sure that his mama is taken care of. And he takes care of his kids. There are rappers who do that. But then you have I feel like the younger ones who are new, their priorities are very different. Their priorities are not where they should be a lot of times. You have those very few who have a little bit of common sense. But it'll be the OGs, the older ones who will put in that effort to make sure that their kids and their mom are good. Because they know. This is my legacy. My children are my legacy. And my mother is, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So, and everybody wants to get upset when you mention the things that are truth. It's the truth. If you're a rapper and you're making $100,000, you're making $100,000 in a show, every show, why are you not setting aside some money to help take care of your kids or something to help your mom when you know that your mom has had a difficult life? You know what I mean? Like, why? Or why do you not have insurance? Why do you not have life insurance, health insurance, car insurance on the Ferrari you just bought? What are you doing? What are you doing? Or you go out and you buy a house that is way too expensive. Like, way too expensive. Like, why would you buy a house that's a nice house, that's affordable? It's in your budget. Like, it's not over your budget. It's in your budget. So you can afford it on a regular basis. You know what I mean? It don't have to be, oh, I had it built type of thing. It's just something that you can afford living within your means, you know? But it's like some people will get money and blow it because they've never had it before. And it's like, oh, wow, I have all this money. What do I do with it? How about you save some? How about you reinvest? All right, y'all. Well, I've been here for a good hour. I've still been waiting on folks to hop in who wanted a reading or whatever. So I'm going to try this again tomorrow because I have things to do today. Thank you to whoever hopped in here and listened to my yapping. But I plan to go live again in the morning if I can. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, because I have my tarot page over there. And I do offer personalized readings. The link is in my link tree in my bio on my Instagram page. So you can go there. But yeah, I usually post collective readings, which I'm working on the collective readings for November. So I'll be working on that later today as well. So love y'all and peace out, y'all.